Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest on the line right now, Master P.
What's going on, y'all? Good morning.
What's going on, brother?
Well, first off, P, man, the first 2 episodes of that documentary was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So salute to you on that. I was wondering, when BET first approached you, were you hesitant to do it because maybe it wouldn't be raw enough? Maybe it needed to be on another outlet so it could be raw?
Yeah, we start thinking, we think of BET, we don't realize that they have a fan base and nobody else was there. And I'm like, well, I've always, if you look at my career, I went to Priority and they was the underdog. They didn't really have the type of content that I had. And I started looking at it. I said, I want to go back to the core audience. This is where I started from. And I feel like we could make so many great projects together now. First of all, I want to salute all the fans for going to BET, finding this, and talking about how great the project is because, Charlamagne, you got to trust the process. I mean, when I first started off and getting back into the film thing, me and my son Romeo, you got to figure it out. You got to figure it out. I tell people I always get better and better, with everything that I do. So this is a great opportunity. Me and my partner, James, we talked about it. James Lindsay, we talked about how, this getting back to the core audience. A lot of people are going to be tuning in to BET now and to be the #1 on BET and also be the #8 cable channel top show. I mean, out of all cable all over the world, this is incredible. This is incredible for the culture. It shows that people want more raw, real content. And that's what this is about. This is opening up avenues for something else. You got to change with the time. And I think that's what's happening over here with BET. Is a great partnership. Just like right now, y'all see, I got the mask up. You talk about fashion. You know what I'm saying? I got the Mayada shirt on with the face mask. So we masked up now.
I got my About It shirt on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hey.
Now, how was it very difficult to get a lot of the people to do a lot of those interviews? Because I know a lot of times you parted ways with a lot of those people. Was it easy to get those interviews? Did you have to call them and talk to them about it? So talk about that process.
Well, I've always kept good relationships with people. Sometimes things don't work out. It just don't work out. But everybody around me, I think, was different about this documentary. I let people talk about what they've seen and what they've been through. And I wasn't afraid to let them express what, where they was at the time, part of the movement. Everybody that was around me has been paid whatever I ever owed them. Sometimes relationships don't work out. And I just think that it's even more people that wanted to be a part of the documentary that just couldn't because, now this done blew up, you're gonna have people hating, you're gonna have people saying this and that. But the greatest thing about this was the people that you've seen in this documentary, these are the people that's a part of the journey. Some people was a part of the season, whether it was producers, artists, they didn't make big records with me. They wasn't the Snoop Dogg, they wasn't the Mia X, they wasn't the Mr. Servon, or Silk the Shock, or C-Murder, or Soulja Slim. They was not those guys. So people are always gonna be unhappy because they feel like, oh, nobody mentioned me or nobody said you. I mean, I couldn't mention every high school teacher I had, every middle school teacher, every friend, every family member, but I think what we was able to capture, the moment, the core of what went on with No Limit, and this is gonna prepare for the Ice Cream Man King of the South movie that'll be coming after this. So,
I thought it was dope that you, you had some of the people in there who weren't necessarily happy. I can't remember the brother's name.
Yeah.
The brother with the cane. He didn't go all the way with you. He was there early with you. Why'd you choose to keep them in there?
Well, because I really wanted to make it with King George. That was my friend. Mm-hmm. But once he got with the manager guy, and I had to cut off the hood games, dog. I couldn't play that because I'm on my way. It's like, I'm gonna make it with you or without you. We all men. And that was a tough one for me because I really had real love for King George. Like, we grew up together. So that was a tough one, man. But when you're on the streets, you got to do what you got to do, any man. So I think, and that's what I wanted people to see. I put my hard work into this, Charlamagne. You got to look at it. back in the days, nobody didn't believe in me. They looked at me as a hustler, so they looked at me, oh, this country boy here, I'm gonna get some money out of him for studio time or whatever. So you got to look at, that's what it was for me. They looked at me like an ATM machine, and they didn't know how hard I was working. If you look at Michael Jordan, he got cut in high school on the basketball team. And you got to look at me when I just kept going back to the studio to get better. Even when people say, oh man, you whack, we ain't feeling this, you different. You know, I mean, that's just how life goes. That made me go back. And I wanted to show people that, you know what, it didn't start off where I started selling millions of records. I mean, I had no fans at the beginning. I mean, Tupac, JT the Bigger Figure, Rapping Forte, you know, a lot of those guys was way bigger than me. E40, Too Short, just in the Bay. And, you know, it was a lot of people I did want to talk about, but it was just so much, man, so much.
You know what I got from this was inspiration, right? Because I feel like everything that you said you wanted to do, you did. And I know a lot of times we want to do things and people try to talk us out of it. Oh, that doesn't make sense. That's not practical. You can't put out this many albums. And you actually just had the vision and followed through on it. And I think so many people have great ideas, but they don't really follow through and make it happen.
They don't follow through. I keep telling them no ideas are whack ideas. Remember Charlamagne when you told me, man, your shoes just okay. Look at this now, Charlamagne. Look at this. I'm gonna sell millions. I'm gonna be bigger than Nike. Hold up, I'm gonna show you something. Ain't nobody gonna out hustle me. Look at this, Charlamagne. I got your size coming.
Okay.
Look at this. Something in there you gon' like. This the manyatis. And look, it's getting better and better. Getting better and better with time.
Okay.
Getting better and better. I'm just telling you, look, you want shine, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm gonna show y'all. This ain't nobody gonna out hustle me. I got something for you.
I'm ordering them today.
All right.
I'm ordering them slides today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So sometimes you gotta, hold up. Nobody got more product than me.
I have those here too.
All right, come on. Who gonna out hustle me? This 2020. This ain't 1995. I got chips. I ain't going nowhere, y'all, man. Whoever watching this, y'all better realize y'all thought what I did in '98. Now I got chips. Hold up, and
you got noodles, chips, shoes.
I got syrup.
You ain't got your own syrup now. Stop, Pete.
I got pancakes. I got the rice, Uncle P rice. Look, I ain't going nowhere. I get better with time, y'all. And that's where the hustle game comes from, the streets. So my thing is to tell anybody, if you take that same street mentality and put it into doing something positive, you don't have to look over your back. And man, I just want to tell y'all that God has blessed me, that I'm here to still be alive with everything that I went through. And I've never disrespected nobody, never took nothing from nobody. If I owe somebody something, I paid them. And you know, everybody's not gonna be happy, Charlamagne. Some of these guys, even that you see on this documentary, some of these guys had a lot of money. Snoop Dogg is a prime example. He took his money, he flipped it, he got in business. I'm proud of him. He went to the University of No Limit, graduated, and he a boss. Some people took their money, went to the strip club, brought cars, brought jewelry, try to keep up with their neighbors. I've never worried about what Puffy, what Jay-Z had, because business go up and down. Right. And so when it go up and down, I never been jealous of nobody. I never worry about, well, who's selling what. I sold 100 million records. I'm blessed. I come from the projects. My mission is right now to help the younger people and the elderly. If we could educate and prepare them, then we could keep going. And anybody that you want to soak up game from me, I'm like the blueprint. I'm gonna give it to you. I don't want to take this with me, you know, because our people in our culture, they talk about how great you are when you're gone. What about why you here? You know, think about it. So I tell people, product outweighs talent. Aunt your mom and Uncle Ben, we've been buying them products for over 130 years. Now they're taking those products off the shelves. How many artists and entertainers gonna last for 130 years? This product is gonna be around when I'm not around. But my family gonna be able to eat off of this because I had the vision. And even when nobody thought, like the Miyatis, like think about it. So now you got Miyati clothes now. You got Miyati shoes. You know, you got the No Limit Chronicles. I got the jerseys. So, you know, 1998, the blinged out. So, you know, we're able to do this on our own. When you look at African Americans and Latinos, we normally don't own anything. And I'm not saying you need to have ownership of everything, but you do need control. If you have the control, then you can control the narrative. Same thing we did with this documentary. So y'all got to look at it. Yeah, we started, you know, some movies we made, people's like, oh, it's okay. But we got better with time. We went back in the gym, just like a basketball player did. We went back into the studio, found better production people in group. But we allow these other companies, like even people laughed at me with the Miyatis. So think about this, where the Miyatis are now. I mean, a fan base that got so big because people do want different. Some people don't want the same thing that everybody else has, and everything is not for everybody. You know, they laugh when I did the noodles. They talk about how much sodium. I said, well, how much sodium ramen have? Then somebody even asked me, what's in the rice? What's in Uncle Ben rice? Y'all done spent billions of dollars for it. Right. We get our product from the same place they get. I think people not used to seeing people look like us own things. So that's the...
When in episode 2, when y'all had the meeting with Birdman and Slim, and you decided not to do business with them, what made you decide that? Because you could have signed them, and you could have had, you know, no limit cash money all under your umbrella.
Yeah, when I met with them, and I'm gonna tell you something, I never take advantage of people when they down. This dude just had a different glow about him. He wanted his own thing, and I think it all worked out the way it's supposed to work out. That's how God worked. He didn't need to be under me. He wouldn't have the legacy he have right now. I mean, in music, I'm not ashamed to say it. They passed me up after. I'm gonna show that in the next episodes, to where, you know, by him doing what he was able to do, he built his own empire, and that's great, man. For a black man, we want to celebrate them. I got in the product. I was prepared. So people don't realize, I tell people the music business, you're only gonna be hot between 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, you're gonna only be hot. After that, you know, you got some people go on, able to do shows. I'm saying 3 to 5 years. So you need to start figuring out what you're gonna do. When I was in the business, I was already prepared to sell, move on, create another brand, and start over. And so that's thinking business. That's not thinking like, oh, this gonna last forever. I could rap forever. No, I could make music forever, but to be hot, your fan base gonna grow up. Those people gonna have kids. You could go from Lil Baby to the Baby to whoever right now. In the next 3 to 5 years, somebody else is gonna be so hot to where they're gonna have to start thinking about doing something else. That's the game. Creating other artists, go find brands and product. If they do that right now, they'll be around forever. And so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking like a businessman thing, just like Jimmy Iovine and one of those other big companies, CEOs are thinking, you know what, let me get this, go find some more artists, go figure something else out. I mean, Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre, they made more money doing the beats than music.
Right.
So you use the music for a while to get you in. I tell athletes, while you hot, go find some product. Don't just think you're gonna go play basketball forever. You look at Jordan, like, I mean, if it wasn't for the shoes, you know, he wouldn't be where he at right now. You gotta think outside the box.
Yeah, it looked like from the documentary, it looked like y'all had like a hostile meeting. Like it showed the little sketch where you got up and walked off and.
Now, so let me tell you, it wasn't a hostile meeting. It's just, that's New Orleans. Like if you hear something, you like, man, look, man, okay, you your own boss. So that's how I look at it. Like either you gonna listen to what I say or you gonna do your own thing. And this dude already had his own. You could tell he got his own thing. So I'm like, man, I'm wasting my time. You gonna do what you.
Did he try to blackball you seriously?
Huh?
Did he try to blackball you since you didn't do a Jimmy Iovine for not doing a deal with him?
I mean, he told me I wasn't gonna never get a deal, but I told you I put my trust and faith in God. When you put your trust and faith in God, He'll make your enemies your footstool. They say that in the Bible. And I just walked out there and said, He let me know. A light bulb went off in my head. That's why I tell people education is more important than anything. You know, I pray for wisdom. I don't pray for money. And when I walked out there, I'm like, man, I'm worth 20, 40, 30 $million. You know, and I said, I just got to keep working. I'm gonna just go do this on my own. And I mean, sometimes that's what you got to do. I say, you know, never take a deal when you're desperate. I was desperate. My money wasn't right. And so, you know, because when you got money, you're gonna go in there with a different attitude. Right. And so I'm like, well, you know what? This don't matter to me anyway. Where could I go? You know, there's nothing else you could do to me. I go back to the hood, start over and keep building. It's time to go work even harder. So that motivated me to where I knew that I got to get out here and go get it.
You know, we had Snoop on the Breakfast Club, man, and Snoop said you saved his life. And so it had me thinking, when you heard about the Fuck Death Row Project, what did God tell you in that moment to help Snoop?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm about doing what's right, man. And I told Snoop, you know, whatever you say about Suge Knight, that man did put you on. He put you in the game. And so doing that would be a bad move, because it's all about integrity. You got to be thankful. And I think a lot of people don't look at it like that. They not thankful for the opportunities. If you're not the boss, then whoever the boss is, they giving you opportunity. Now, when you get your own company, and that's what I was telling y'all, when you get your own company, you could do whatever you want to do. And that's what I told him. I said, when you the boss, you could do whatever you want to do. You need to go boss up now. And we don't need to be getting into it with other black men, because that's what they want to see us kill each other up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, what are you gonna do that for? Make no sense. You done survived this, move on. And that was my mom was thinking, well, you know, let me talk to this man and let me see what he want to do. You know, but that ain't the way you go out, because even in relationships, when a couple get into it, first they do is start trash talking each other, which that ain't cool, because just yesterday you was in love with that person. And so that's how I look at it. I'm like, you know, I mean, we all have been through bad relationships that somebody gonna get mad and say something, but what about just walking away with peace and being a bigger man and go build your empire? And that's what I told him. And I like that he respects, because he didn't need another yes man around. And that's what I tell, you know, a lot of these entertainers, you know, when you got them yes people around you, whether it's your manager, your friends or whatever, you know, they only there with you for the ride. I can't do that. I'm gonna walk away. Are we gonna fight or something? It's like, man, okay, after we get finished fighting, you know, we gonna go back to being boys. And I just think that we don't keep it 100 with each other like that. I didn't want to see that man get killed over some music. It made no sense to when, you know, you disrespecting somebody that actually paid your bills before or put you on. You know, you probably wasn't everything you wanted, but y'all got to realize when I first started, you know, I had gave my CD to the distribution company that I was buying my music from my store. They never paid me, but that let me know once I got away from them, look, man, I could make money doing this. I have something.
When you reached out to Michael Jackson's lawyer, what was that phone call like? And what made you reach out to him of all people?
So if you look at it, back in the days, Michael Jackson was the highest paid entertainer. Mm-hmm. And he was making 22% a record, and he had Neverland and all this stuff. I'm like, damn, how does this dude make all this money making 22%? He's the highest paid. So you know, I start researching. So any artist watching this, entertainers, research your business. You know, I had to go to the library and find out who Michael Jackson's attorney was, but you know, you guys got social media, you got the internet now, you could just pull something up. Don't be afraid to do that. And when I did that, I found out this guy, who he was in Hollywood, and I'm like, I need to go see this guy. But this guy was so big to where he like, man, you ain't got 25K. I'm not gonna even sit down, which I got too much going on. I'm doing so much stuff for Michael Jackson. So I had to invest in myself, which a lot of people wouldn't do that today. People wouldn't give me 25K to say, I'm like, cause they don't understand. It's like, but that's how you know, like, you believe in yourself. So when that man gave me that advice, told me what a distribution deal was, it took my business to a whole nother level. And that's why I tell people, sometimes you gotta go find experts. Find experts, find people that did it before. You know, nobody know how to do the deals like I've been done. And so I could help this generation into, you know, looking at their paperwork, not just getting to the presidents of the companies, but getting to the shareholders. That's a whole different frame of mind of thinking. Our people think we could tell how successful you are by how much money you have. No, the people I deal with, in the way I think, you could tell how successful somebody is by how much money they're able to give away every year. The people around me, you know, it's about how much they give, how much they're able to help, those type of checks they could write. And we still caught up into, oh, this is how much money I got, let me show you. Right. You know, it's not about that no more.
Back to Snoop real quick. Why did you just let him walk freely once all his albums were done? Because he even said, like, you could have got 10% from him for the rest of his career if you wanted.
But that ain't being a boss. Real bosses make other millionaires, and they create other bosses. Snoop turned into a real boss. Anybody on my label, think about it. Anybody that was mad, that left, I tore their contracts up and say, man, y'all go on about your business. If you don't, I just learned, that's just the way been for my whole life. You got to be able to keep your word. And if somebody don't want to be around you, I don't want to be around them.
Right.
All money ain't good money. That's the way I live, man. I live by that. And I learned that from being on the streets. It's like, man, I don't want to be around somebody that don't want to be around me. If it ain't love, if we ain't on the same page with me and Snoop, it was love all the way. I wanted to see him be a boss. This dude is a genuine good dude with a good heart. And I know a lot of people don't understand him, but this dude got a good heart, man. Something like, man, that's what it's about. I want to help my people. And so I think that's what God spared my life for, man, because I could have been killed a long time ago, Charlamagne. Like, so if you look at it right now, we got to celebrate our people while they're here. They wait till we gone to say how great they was. Now, man, I was celebrating Snoop when he was around with me on the label, just like Mill X. When Mill X left, I just tore a contract up. You ain't got no lifetime contract with me. No, nobody ain't gonna break your home and all this type of stuff, mystical. You know, when Mystical wanted to leave, I tore it up. Like, man, go on about your business. Go do what you gotta do. Serve on everybody. So if you look at it from Fiend, you can ask all those guys. They all signed with other companies and did other things after they left No Limit. But imagine this. And that's what I tell people. No Limit, part of their foundation must have been so big. That's all people talk about. And so we got to be thankful for that. That's a blessing. Charlamagne, it's a blessing that I think the way I think, because if it be anybody else that owned No Limit, any of my other friends or family members, whatever, no, none of them wouldn't have left. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have. You got to have, I'm from the streets, but y'all got to look at it. I went to a Catholic school growing up, had to fight, coming back to the project, but it gave me a lot of values to where I know that this money thing is only temporary. It's about what we do, why we here. So we can't take none of this with us. You know, I sold 100 million records. We can't take none of that with us. So at the end, all the people that left already, like what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave an imprint here to say, man, look what these people did. They wasn't mad at nobody, they packed fair with everybody, but you can't make everybody happy. You know, God is real, but the devil is real too. So the devil left out of heaven with 1/3 of the angels. Who would want to leave heaven, dog? So think about it. People brainwash people because they want them to come with them. Same thing in this business. You got a lot of angry, mad people in this business, Charlamagne. Guess what? That means they don't have no money. If you mad or angry, you ain't got no bread. People that are successful and doing right, they happy because even business people know they could fall off. All the billionaires lost millions and they started over. I started in the music business. Now I'm about to take over the film industry now because I have the right production team and you guys can see that now, but that took time. It didn't happen overnight. Same thing in the music business. People laughed at me because I didn't have the right production. Sometimes the people that I had at first, I thought they was good, but they wasn't. Mm-hmm. You know, so when I left and went home and found, you know, a better team, then I started making hit records. Everything, all the pieces to the puzzle came together. It wasn't that, it just wasn't meant for me to make it with those other people I was with. Now, whether they could understand that or not, that's life, but you gotta move on. Sometimes it was better that I cut some of them people off, you know? And so, I wouldn't have made it. I probably would have died or went to jail. Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting about that? That's kind of the opposite mentality of somebody like a Suge Knight, right?
Yeah.
And he's addressing this too, because when you moved to LA, he didn't think the town was big enough for the both of you. And you told him, well, guess you're going to have to move. So what kind of interactions did you guys have? I know we've only seen the first 2 parts of the docuseries, but what was that like? And did y'all ever get to some type of understanding?
So people don't realize, and this is what I want to address this too, because, you know, we 2 black businessmen, so they see we come from the hip hop world. Everybody want to put us against each other and they want to see us kill each other. But my conversation was real calm with him. It wasn't like negative. I just told him how I felt and it was real because, you know, I probably given back in California more than any artist or entertainer in California. I've been 25 years in Compton, South Central, giving back to the elderly, to the kids in the community. So I feel that I'm valuable to that community because it's not about me just being there. When I come in a community, I'm gonna be a part of it. The same way I am in my community in Memphis, Tennessee, Louisville. That's just me. I have a soft heart for the young kids in the community, hoping that I can save them. And so I think people misunderstand you when they meet you. I've never wanted to be a tough guy, so I want to get that straight with everybody. I've only stood up when I need to. And I even did business with Suge after that, and you guys gonna see. That's how I signed Snoop. I went and signed Snoop. I just think that when people see me, they think that, oh, I'm a country boy, but I've never feared no man. I put my trust and faith in God, and I've always respected every man I've been around, and I demand that same respect back. So our conversations always been pleasant, but it just be, some people, they don't know you. They're gonna say something to you or test you or see. I mean, that's been happening to me my whole life. When I put that Catholic school uniform on, I had to walk through the project, once people know, he ain't gonna back down. You might beat him, he might lose a fight, but he's gonna fight. That's what my grandparents and my parents taught me. Like, no matter what, you don't have to win every fight, but you just gonna have to stand up for yourself. And
well, I wonder what made Suge feel like he could even call you and say that though. Why? Because y'all both black? Because y'all both hip hop?
Well, think about this though. That's what I tell people. Look at Rodale Drive. They got 1,000 stores on that block. They all making money. And that's how I feel about it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's not where he need to be at mentally, but I am. So I feel like it's enough money for all of us. I feel like even with Snoop, me doing that deal with him, why I was able to go do it with him, because I feel like it's like having a used car. Snoop had Suge had a used car that he didn't want. He wanted to sell it. And I'm like, nah, man, I'll put some wheels on that car. We country boys. I'm gonna paint it up, and I'm gonna put me a nice stereo system in there, and it's gonna be like it's brand new. Like one man trash is another man fortune. And I just think that we just beef with each other for no reason, and you don't even know the person. So we never really had no real relationship, which I'm not looking for a relationship, with other entertainers and people like that. But I mean, I put my trust in God, man, and do the right thing, and he'll continue blessing you, and I think that's what he was able to do for me. And even, I never disrespect Suge. And I even told Snoop not to disrespect him, because that ain't what I do. I don't make records about people. I'm not about beef, and I feel like whenever you see a man, you can communicate. And that's what I want to show people moving on with this, how, like, even though we had differences, but, you sold me something and we moved on. And that's the way life's supposed to be. Why you never see Jimmy Iovine, Clyde Davis, Doug Morris, why they not beefing? And why none of these artists never get mad? Like, think about it, we got all these gangster artists. Never go in none of these people's office and tell them how they feel, or they gave them a bad contract, or go talk about them. Or how come we don't see nothing with them at each other's throat? So how come we don't see nothing with Suge and Jimmy Iovine and all that? Like, why? So that's what the narrative we have to change. I'm praying for my brothers, man. And it's like Suge incarcerated right now. Man, I want the best for this brother. I mean, God has changed my life and spared my life. I'm not in that frame of mind. It's easy for me to go out and pick up a gun and shoot somebody and take another black man out. Charlamagne, I'm on something else right now, man, to be honest with you. And some of my friends not. I got a bunch of crazy people in my family, friends, everything, but I feel like we all work in progress. God got me to where I'm at right now, and hopefully I can share that light and show some of these kids, man, because you look at from Chicago to New Orleans to Philadelphia, these kids are dying, man. Like, we got to show these kids that, you come out these tough places, you don't have to be the toughest guy in the world, because most of the tough guys are dead or in prison. And so they say where all the most treasure at is in the graveyard. So we got to blossom and show these kids how to use their mind and create product, go and chase their dreams and goals in the music. Like, I never got in the music business to be tough, Charlamagne. I got in the music business to get out of the streets. So it seems like artists are getting in the music business to go back to the streets. So if I could change that narrative, I hope this documentary show, this generation in our culture, that if P changes life, that you could do it, and then you could go build an empire. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder. You don't have to be getting into it with another black man. I mean, anybody could say whatever. I just think that God has blessed me to where, I believe in him. I put my trust in him, but I live an eye for eye. I mean, if somebody don't do me nothing, I ain't gonna do them nothing. And you can't be afraid in this world. You just got to keep doing what's right. I come from the project. I have that in me, Charlamagne, but my thing is, I've been fighting that on how not to go back to that person. Like, God spared my life, man. When that gun didn't go off in the club, I knew that God had a bigger plan for me,
That was crazy. The doc also showed me something that was very rare, and that's a pic of you and Pac. Like, I always wonder why there wasn't a lot of pictures of you and Pac when you was on the road with him all those years.
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I was always the hustle in the background to like, and I let those dudes go do their thing. And I mean, this dude was just an incredible dude, man. Like, we lost him too young, and it's just, man, like everything that's going on now, you know, it's like history repeating itself. A lot of these artists are dying young, man. When I look at Tupac, I look at how Nipsey hustled. You know, that was my dude. I feel like this guy should still be here. Like the hood took him under, and that's my thing. I'm saying, we don't know. We got so many great people that we killing. That we kill a plug. Like, why is we killing the plug? Like, this dude gonna feed all these people in the community. And it's crazy how, like, when this man left, everybody talked about how great he, you know, was. This guy could still be here, man, because he had a good heart. So, I mean, it's crazy, man. I'm glad that I'm alive to be able to tell this story and give it to y'all raw and real. And hopefully our people learn from it. It was the #1 this week. And hopefully, you know, again, it get bigger and bigger and bigger because of the fans and the people finding BET. And you know, me and Snoop, like, man, we're gonna take this thing so big, because when people see our love and see how you know, Black people coming together and celebrating each other, man, I think it's a beautiful thing. And that's the message I want to lead to this generation and this culture. Like, you don't have to be the toughest guy in the world. You just need to stand up when you have to, protect your family, and do what's right. And God gonna continue blessing you, man. He gonna continue blessing you.
I feel like in the documentary, do you say that Tupac called you a gospel singer at one point when
No,
you
so
the host called him a country singer.
Yeah, the host called me a country singer. So
I don't remember what it was. It was something.
Yeah. So, you know, he kept doing that, and you got to realize I didn't let that bother me. You know, it let me know, because I'm there when the light's on. So don't be afraid to know who you're not. So I knew that I wasn't Tupac. My talent wasn't that level at the time. But watching this guy, it made me go work on my craft and get better. It's like playing basketball. And if you look at like a Michael Jordan or LeBron, whoever they had to play, they like, man, this dude is so good. I need to go back in the gym. And me watching Tupac, and I'm not afraid to say that, like, to be able to celebrate this man. I'm seeing this man, I'm thinking like, damn, this dude is talented. I got to go back in the studio and work on my stuff. So I want to be around people that push me. You know, the same way that you look at, you know, somebody that's better than you, you know, you don't stop and be upset and talk, because now this generation, you know, they get mad and angry and upset and start talking about people because they more talented or they in a better position than you. What happened to celebrate them? Like a Jay Prince, those guys motivated me, they pushed me. Without them, it wouldn't be me. Without Tony Draper, Swab House, it wouldn't be no me. Without Uncle Luke, it wouldn't be no me. Now, everything after that, I am the South. I put everybody else on there, that whether they want to admit it, when I'm not alive no more, they'll admit it. That's cool, I get it. But it's sad that we don't want to do that for our people. Like, we don't want to celebrate people that motivated you or inspired you, that came before you, which in baseball, football, basketball, they do. They realize that Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Larry Bird, all them people came before the people that are here right now. And so, yeah.
Did J. Cole reach out to you when he decided to leap into the NBA and say, hey, I know you've been through it. I know you're a rapper. This is what you did. And what was that conversation like?
Yeah, the conversation was, man, J. Cole is a definitely a stand-up guy. He called me, man. He's searching for advice. He want to know. And I told him, I said, man, let me tell you something. The first thing that's going to happen, I was a hell of a player, but they're going to hate you. Like, they don't want to see that. So you got to be prepared for that. If you're not prepared for that, and you live in a social media world now, every shot you miss, they're going to show it on TV. They're going to talk about it. You know, so think about it. I seen the kid from the Boston Celtics had a bad game the other day. Then the next game, he had an incredible game. They're not going to let you have that. So whatever happens, you got to be so ready and so on. They're going to get you up out of there. You think any NBA player want to see you there, all the hard work they done did, And then, you know, you're 35 years old now. Like, you think these young boys that come from all these different colleges go want to see you. So, you know, you got to know what you getting yourself into. And that's I just wanted to prepare him that the hard work is going to get you. I tell my kids that. My kids, Hersey and Mercy, they two of the top high school players in the country. But I tell them now, you got to outwork everybody, because last year nobody knew who you were. You know, they beat LeBron James' son in the 17,000 seater game at the Target Center in Minneapolis. And but now you own the spotlight. When people walk into that gym, you got to outwork everybody to when them lights come on, that people show that you for real, you the real deal. And I think that's what it's about. You just got to be prepared. He know what he got to do now, but he just got to be prepared. And so I'm able to show a little this in my documentary about, you know, what happened in my basketball world playing in the NBA. But I'm working on something with Slam Magazine to where I'm just going to do something on the whole basketball thing, because, man, I almost got it. Well, I got in one fight before in the NBA, but you know, I ain't gonna say because we friends now, but you know, they make the rookies look. They make the rookies carry your bags when you first come into the league.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I got more money than everybody on the team, dog. I'm not carrying the bags. I'm a super rookie. You a super rookie, so you know a lot of those dudes in the NBA from the hood too. So that was my first time ever getting tested in a long time in the NBA. I'm like, man, this dude really wants something, right? So I asked Coach, I'm like, Coach, what happened if we get into a scuffle in there? Coach was like, whatever happened in the gym, stay in the gym. We end up being best friends after that. Like, we end up being cool. But
so you never carried the bags.
I ain't never carried the bags. I'm telling you, I've never. Nobody never put, you know, like when you're a rookie, they wait till you go to sleep when you're on the road. They might put like shaving cream in your mouth and your face. Like, bro, I'm like, bro, please, I'm just telling y'all.
Did you have to pay the dinner bill? You know, they do that too. They make you pay that whole bill at dinner.
You know, I was cool with that. It's like, you know what? Look, somebody said, well, P ain't tripping, you know, he got more money than everybody on the team. I'm like, man, look, I got love for y'all, dog. We you know, we like brothers. So, you know, being in that type of bind, it's something that prepared me for my business too, being able to play sports. And I think that's what made me go back. People don't realize, but I've been playing with the Gary Paytons, the Jason Kidds. People don't know that I went into the CBA, you know, with the Earl Barkins, the Moochie Norris. So I paid a lot of dues. I didn't just go into the NBA. I went to Dallas for 10 days with Steve Nash. So you'll be able to, it's a lot. I played with Matt Barnes in the minor league. So you got to realize it was a tough road for me to get there. So they didn't have social media back then. So if people actually seen that, they wouldn't be like, oh, P just popped up in the NBA. No, I went to college. I was a big time high school player. So I went through the scoutings and all these different things to actually get there. So it's a tough road. It's not going to be easy for J. Cole, but if you put your mind to it and your game is on, like, you could really pull this off.
Well, who won the fight in the gym?
Charlamagne, the only thing I could tell you, I ain't lost a fight in a long time, and I was in the best of the shape at the time. So let me tell you something, man. I played with a lot of tough guys. I played with Charles Oakley. I played with Anthony Mason, Derek Coleman. I mean, these dudes was huge. Yeah. And so, you know, I mean, you know, in Charlotte, Anthony Mason, he ran the town at that time. And so me and him, I can tell you this. He wasn't the guy I got into a fight with. I almost got into a fight with him, and we ended up being friends too, because he was like, little man, you crazy. You know, this dude was like 6'10". He was like, man, because he didn't want nobody to touch him. And so, you know, I fouled him, Charlamagne, real hard, and then he was like, man, we about to fight when we go in the locker room. You know me, I was like, nah, we about to fight right here. He was like, man, I like you, dog. You got heart. So we ended up being cool. And but the other dude, I can't tell you this. I'm gonna tell y'all in a documentary I do with Slam. So if he want to talk about it, so that's how I am, man. Because I don't talk about stuff unless people want to talk. Same thing. I didn't put Pimp C in this documentary, man. You know, me and him end up before he passed. We end up, you know, communicating, and he apologized, told me that he was on drugs at the time when he was doing that, and I forgave him, man. And we moved on. And I'm never gonna, you know, not talk about something if somebody not around to talk about or tell a story. So I've always had that type of respect, especially if that person is deceased and not here. So, man, I mean, I had a hell of a journey with Pimp C and Bun B and Beats by the Pound. I mean, those guys was a part of my journey, helping me get to where I'm at. But I've also paid all those guys I probably overpaid those guys for the work that they've done. So, I mean, I'm thankful, I'm blessed for everybody that was a part of my journey. And the ones that's not happy, I mean, I guess you got to go get your own company, your own business, and then you ain't got to worry about my business. I think that's how it go.
You know
Which
what
artist was the hardest for you to, I guess, kind of keep him on the path? Like I see Mystical, you had a lot of issues with Mystical being wild when he was signed to the label, but who would you say was the most work for you?
I think Soulja Slim, because he just kept going in and out of jail. Like, this guy should have been a platinum artist. He was like Tupac for us in the South. Mm-hmm. He lost his life at a young age. And I mean, he just one of them wild boys, that, and I loved him because he was a part of what, and I went and got him out to Magnolia, which was crazy. You guys gonna see. At that time, the Magnolia and the Calio really wasn't getting along. But Slim was already signed to me before all the craziness happened. So I was able to control that to where him and C ended up being friends. But I just think that, and then my brother C, and you're gonna see in the documentary where we showing the truth about, he is innocent, he's an innocent man, but all the other stuff that he attached himself to the friends, I was able to cut people off. And in the documentary, I'm able to show people like where his name really come from. People don't know that C Murder been in the army, he been in the war for real, and so he's seen a lot of murder. So, but he didn't commit this crime. None of us are perfect, and we're gonna show that you have an innocent man incarcerated, and hopefully that whoever in the president spot right now, in the future, be able to open them doors and let him out because he's innocent. And I feel like, God will put you through things and he'll spare your life. I feel like, C Life has been spared for, just some of the stuff that we did in the past, to where, he gonna get a second chance, and he gotta be blessed because the system, where we from in Louisiana, there's a lot of crooked cops, and that's what I wanna do next. I'm gonna go to BET. I got so many stories about that. I wanna put that together. I feel like it's like a crime tale that need to be done. I know 50 Cent got his thing with Power, but I feel like it's a whole nother Southern thing that need to be told from the police perspective, that I can really share that light on the world. And I'm glad that C gonna get a second chance, and we just praying for him and Mac, because both of those guys, you're gonna see in the documentary that they didn't kill these people. They just because who they are and what they name themselves and what their music stood for. That's the education part that I keep saying, that we got to pray for wisdom and not money, because everybody is not good with money. People don't know how to spend money. They never teach us that. They don't show us what to do with it. And if you don't have that knowledge, you might have the money. It's a lot of broke rich people in the world that don't know what to do with money. And just because they have money, don't have happiness, because you can't buy love. And you got to realize that it's a bunch of people in the world that's walking around that's unhappy with money. Like, it's crazy to me because they don't have respect or they don't have love.
P, when I hear you name these names, right? Like, Mia X was always like my favorite lyricist in No Limit, but man, you had Fiend,
yes,
Mac, Soulja Slim,
yeah,
Mystical. I gotta wonder, how did Cash Money pass No Limit?
Because it's life. That's what I got to realize, is life. Like, so people look at me playing basketball, but I feel like the artists on our label, they stop being hungry, because think about it. Now, if I'm not doing it no more, then somebody else got to step up, Charlamagne. That's just life. Mm-hmm. So they know that I'm stepping down to go into business. I want to do product. I created dolls. I created real estate companies. I created clothing companies. Like, I'm getting away from this. It's time for somebody else to shine now. Nobody else stepped up but Snoop and Romeo. Everybody else got comfortable. So, I'm running a business, so it shouldn't just be about me. Why I got to be the biggest artist on the label? Mm-hmm. And so these guys stop being hungry. and then Beast by the Pound got greedy at the time to where they wanted more money. I mean, but it didn't add up. It didn't make sense. And so, and that's what my whole thing is. If you want to be your own boss, and I told all those guys, well, go start your own thing. And it get that time, man, because people get in people's ear. People don't realize sometimes you good together as a team. So I just think that's what it was. It's like everybody thought that, because think about it. All the guys that left, Magic left, he went with Roy Jones. Slim left and went signed his own deal with a company. I could go Fiend left, went with Rough Riders. I could go on and on. But, you know, y'all keep saying like something happened. Nothing really happened. They all grew up and went did their own thing, that's cool. That's just life. People grow up. Your kids gonna grow up and leave. What you gonna do? You still gonna love them. We still got good relationships, but we happy for what we was able to accomplish. But I feel like those guys grew up. We was around each other a long time, and people look at me like, oh man, well, P just a country boy. He come from the streets. If he could do it, I could do it. They don't look at the hard work and the sacrifices that I made in the planning. Just like, from the marketing to everything. Like, it's not an easy job. You know, sometimes we make it look easy. Me and Boz talk about this all the time. We make it look easy. And so everybody think they could do it. And when you get on your own, you start realizing this is not as easy as you thought it was.
What's your relationship with Birdman and Slim now? And would you do a versus battle?
Now, so with me, I'm not into the whole versus thing. So people never really see me as like the greatest rapper. I never been trying to do that. But I sold 100 million records. I got a lot of hit records, but I've never been that part of the business. And me, Birdman, and Slim, we always had a what's up when I see you. You know, it's never been no hate or nothing like that. It's just we both from the same place. I wish them well, but I don't fake, man. It's like I ain't got to be your best friend. It's never been like that. But I got a lot of love and respect for them. You know, they come from where I come from. To make it out of that, bro, like you got to be doing something right.
That would be a dope versus battle, though.
Huh?
That would be a dope versus battle because you got tons of hits.
Yeah.
You got tons of hits because it's not a battle. It's more of a showing love to the cultures. I think that would be dope. Y'all go back and forth with some of the artists that y'all broke.
Yeah.
I think especially for the state.
Yeah. Nah, man, it's a lot of love in there, man, and you just never know, what'll happen. But I'm just telling you, so this is where I'm at. I'm not into the whole artist thing no more, man. I'm into product.
There we go.
Product don't talk back, Charlamagne. I ain't got to worry about this shoe getting mad at me. You all right? How much I owe you? Nothing. You good? Where you going at, bro? You going to the club? You gonna spend all your money and tomorrow you gonna be mad with me? No, man. I'm gonna sacrifice. I'm gonna invest my money and I'm gonna get some money back. That's called making an investment. Yeah. People don't get that. Product do not talk back, and product outweighs talent. I'm in the product business now, y'all. I'm grown up. If y'all follow me in everything else I did, follow me in this. If you want to be successful, get you some product. And look, I'm gonna get these on Charlamagne real soon because
send them over.
I'm making the non-believers believe. Charlamagne, I remember when you said, man, P, your shoes okay. I appreciate that. You put me back. You sent me back. You sent me back, Charlamagne. Because of you, this is gonna be a multi-billion-dollar business. Remember,
I like that red one. I like that. That's a good design too. I like the red one you held up though.
Hold up.
Well, you gotta wear them. You gotta wear them in poster.
Yeah. So look, think about this, right? Let me tell y'all what Manyatta stand for. Motivating oneself, and I encourage you actively to think independently.
There you go.
And listen, hey, speaking of product, P, with that slam doc, Mitchell and Ness need to come to his senses and they need to release the Percy Miller Hornets or Percy Miller Raptors jersey. Why have those never been released?
Well, I guess they're waiting, but I think it's a good time, and I think that we'll be able to go back to the NBA and make that happen. So you got to get the approval from them. People don't realize that in Charlotte, it was crazy. I had 10,000 people in my line to get autographs and jerseys when I was in Charlotte. I've never seen nothing like that. And the NBA has never seen nothing like that. So I just appreciate the fans. And it's going to happen soon, Charlotte, man. It's going to happen soon.
Because I always thought about that, but when I saw the Pistons tweet out the Cole yesterday, they actually had the Cole jersey already. And I said, oh, they getting ready to sign Cole to a 10-day contract and sell him.
Yeah. And I mean, but look at the times we're in now. We're in a social media time to where you could do that. So you got to realize when I got into this thing, man, it's just you had to have pure talent. I had to play against the Nick Van Exel, the Sam Cassells, the Allen Iversons. I mean, it was real. Like, you're not going to get on that court. Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, Cuttino Mobley, Baron Davis, Andre Miller. You're not going to get on that court, man, unless you in shape and you done put the work in. So now this is a great time, man, that now with social media, if J. Cole halfway where he need to be at, somebody's gonna give him opportunity. He just got to make the best out of it. Because to be honest with you, it's crazy how social media is. They build you up to just break you down, you know, to critique every element of your game. And that's what you got to be ready for.
Yeah, but you can buy the Toronto jersey on your website, right? You have the Toronto jersey on your website, right?
Yeah. So you could go to Minyati.com, official Minyati.com, and be able to get the Toronto jersey.
Since you brought up Roy Jones' name earlier, are you going to be watching the fight with him and Mike Tyson?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see in the documentary, Mike Tyson was definitely a friend of mine and still is, and I'm rooting for him, and Roy Jones too. I don't even know who to root for because they both two guys that I like.
Who do you think is going to win?
You know what? I grew up on Tyson. I'm never gonna go against Tyson because if Tyson hits you, it's a wrap. And but Roy Jones has been the best in the game at what he do, but I don't know at this weight class. So I think it's just gonna be a good fight. But I never went against Mike Tyson. I mean, even when he lost, he always put on a great show. So this is gonna be a good one, y'all. It's gonna be a good one.
And you know, I forgot about Mr. Servon too, and how much of a role he played in the early success in No Limit.
Yeah. Well, you know, Mr. Servon has always been law, him crazy, gangster. So, you know, Servon used to play basketball with me, and that's how we end up being tight. And it's crazy that so just, you know, with Servon them and Mia X and them coming to California, that's how I really found out like what was going on with the manager and King. And you know, they try to get them to come with them too, but they was like, nah, man, this is my homeboy. I grew up with him. We're not just about to go do this for no bread. So I salute them. And then you got this is what I want to say too. You know, in the documentary, and I let the Bay Area artists talk too, because I love the Bay, man. But think about it. The reason why those guys didn't make it with me, they thought that I already had made money when I signed the deal. So they was upset for no reason. And you look at the documentary, it was like, yeah, man, P keeping all the money. I signed a deal with Pro, they didn't give me no money up front. I signed a distribution deal. So I want to get that straight to everybody. Like they showed that they was mad. And sometimes when you don't know something, that's why I say education is so important. I did a distribution deal, Charlamagne. When you do a distribution deal, you don't get no money until you make some money. And so I think a lot of those guys didn't understand it. They think that, oh, you signed a deal, now you got millions of dollars. No, I got no money. So I end up selling 5% of the company to get $250 from them to go do some more marketing and promotion. So I think when we educate ourselves, and you know, that's how we do, even with family members, friends, they get mad at you because they think you got something that you don't even have. Mm-hmm. And I think that's sad, but that's just the way African Americans, we think. We always think somebody trying to beat them or get over on them and not really looking into the big picture. And I think too, that's what a lot of these managers do. You know, they send this stuff to these guys, and next thing you know, these guys, oh, I'm going to do my own thing. But you know, you got to grind, you got to work, you got to hustle. People got to realize my success comes from when they closed doors on me. I go open up a window, I figure something else out, and I kept going. And I think that's what you're going to see in this documentary, to where I kept going even when nobody believed. Because a lot of those people didn't believe in me. A lot of those guys just wanted to go to the studio, get some free studio time with the country boy, and guess what? I'm gonna go be bigger than him. And my heart was genuine. I took a lot of those guys with me, and that's how God worked. A lot of those guys didn't deserve to go, you know, to the celebration with me because they was all faking it. And that's what we found out as you're going down. It's like, and y'all know when I left, and even when I went signed the distribution deal with Priority, nobody knew I was gonna make it. You know, JT, the bigger figure, signed the deal before me. He signed with Priority and it didn't work. So I just think that, you know, you do have to put your trust and faith in God and just keep chasing your dreams and your goals. And that's all I did. And so the people that's mad, I don't care whether they producers or artists, because I had a lot of artists around me back then when I was in the Bay. Probably one of the most talented guys that I didn't get a chance to talk about was Dangerous Dane. He was from Oakland, but I mean, he just didn't make it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like he could have been as big as Too Short. So, you know, but, so think about this. If I'd have got killed in the Bay Area and wouldn't have left and went home, I wonder what people will still be talking about me till the day.
You never know. I tell you what, though, man, you are an inspiration, man. And, you know, I celebrate you all the time. And you have no idea how much you inspired me when you told that white man, you think you white, you right?
Yeah. And guess what? So think about this, Charlamagne. How many of us gonna do that? They got artists today that's not gonna do, they don't even know their power. And so we have to start using our power. And that's what I say. We got guys right now go shoot up the hood, kill 3-4 people, and then when the police come, they drop their gun and lay on the ground. Like, hold up, you just killed 3 innocent people. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden you're gonna lay on the ground? That showed me that you're really not that crazy. And then these artists, they beef and go kill up these little managers and people they got, but they go to these companies, go look at from Atlanta Records to Universal. It's no artist never went in there and got into it with them. Why are they not beefing with them? It's crazy to me. Like, man, we need to stop killing each other and beefing with each other. Why we can't communicate with each other? Or educate each other and say, look, man, if you know this, help me with this, instead of everybody want to outdo me, Charlamagne. I don't care about, I want y'all to outsell me. But your whole mission to get around me to be, man, okay, well, nobody want to pay me for my knowledge. That's why I don't waste my time no more. Everybody want me to do something for free for them. I didn't never ask nobody for nothing for free. I pay for everything I want. It's not just about me. No Limit is a corporation. I went and found experts, whether it's accountants, whether it's salespeople, whether it's marketing people. I've always found experts and put them on my team, and we came together. Even in the product business with the chips and the noodles, people don't know. James Lindsay is an expert. This dude is an expert. We believed in this stuff 20 years ago when nobody believed. They was laughing at it. But I know this dude understands packaged food goods. That's what makes us great partners. And so sometimes people got to stop being negative, because we all probably could make a lot of money together if we utilize the people that been there before you.
That's right.
Well, we definitely appreciate you for checking in and sharing that knowledge this morning. And we're seeing the rest of that documentary. It was the first 2 episodes, amazing. So thank you for checking in.
It's on Wednesday to Tuesdays, Pete. Wednesday. Okay, gotcha.
Wednesday at 8 o'clock East Coast time.
All right. Well, thank you, Master P, for joining us. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
I appreciate y'all.
P, thank you, King.
For sure.